if your student is going to live on campus, they will need TwinXL sheets.
The first thing people get wrong. It's the first thing people get freaked out about. The majority of students who enroll in college don't graduate in 4 years.
Is my kid going to make friends? Are they going to fit in? Are they going to find their people at college? Are they going to fail a class?
Between Beth and I, we have worked in higher education for 50 years. We really think that there's some opportunity for some great dialogue.
From Pod 617, the Boston Podcast Network, it's TwinXL with your hosts, Laura DeVoe and Beth Grampetro.
You know, your student is learning to adjust to a college schedule, which is very different from high school. High school, obviously it varies depending on where you live, but it's a pretty prescribed schedule. They don't necessarily have a ton of choice in what classes they take. They have to ask permission to use the restroom. Yeah. You know, everything is kind of different. And then they get to college and they choose what classes with an advisor.
Free range.
They have way more quote unquote free time.
Yes.
Though there is also plenty more work to do. And it's really much more of motivating themselves, from within a lot more than they might have had to do in high school. Mm-hmm. I really was homesick. Yeah. And so it gets everyone eventually. And I think the best thing you can do is listen. And as a parent, just not make big decisions or have them make big decisions when they're homesick and upset.
And I think there's also, you got to remember, is that your child is going to call you with these emphatic statements of, nobody is doing anything I want to do.
No friends.
I have no friends. Everybody here smokes pot 24 hours a day. I was like, well, maybe your next door neighbor does.
Hopefully with your student who's going off to college, you have renewed and sort of age appropriate for a teenager conversations about hey, you do own your body.
Right.
And there might be times as your parent that I have stepped in and said, you will do this thing for your health. You will get this shot, even though you don't like getting shots, because it's good for your health. Mm-hmm. But really reinforcing for them. And again, if you feel like you haven't been doing this, there's no time like the present. Let them dress the way they want. Let them do the things they want to do. Let them get the haircut they want. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is, because it is their body. And that's an important thing to reinforce.
And I want to, I'm 52 years old. I am of a specific generation. I'm a little bit older than Beth. I'm older than Beth. And I grew up at a time when in the 80s, girls, and I had this conversation with people. It was, look, if a boy wants to have sex with you, you can do this instead. Now, knowing that was infused in my head, back when it was infused in my head, that screws with you, okay? And it screws with you as a person, it screws with you as a woman, but it also screws with you in terms of what do you see as your ability to take ownership of your environment.
When it comes to college, wellness is something that a lot of colleges are paying more attention to. Mm-hmm. It is a whole field. I do it. I have colleagues who do it. And there's more attention being paid because someone figured out, hey, they actually stay in school and do well in class if they are well. Use the bed for sleep and sex only. This is also hard.
No eating pizza on it?
Try not to eat pizza on your bed. It's really hard.
What if you're eating pizza while you're having sex?
I mean,
I just want to ask. I'm asking a question because it's real.
That's very coordinated of you if that's what you're doing.